Lord, today are beneficial to all citizens of the city, county, state, and nation, Lord. Lord, we ask you to come into this place, Lord. Bless right now, Lord. Lord, bless all of us here, Lord. Bless all of our families, Lord. Lord, we need you. We need you yesterday. We need you today. We need you tomorrow. Lord, these and many other blessings we ask in thy son Jesus' name. Every heart say amen.
Amen.
To pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, good afternoon, Council. Hope everybody's doing well today. Okay, good afternoon to the mayor.
Good afternoon.
Okay. To my knowledge, the agenda will go as printed today. Any questions? If not, Chair, entertain a motion to adopt the working agenda.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Motion been made and been second. Any further? All in favor, right hand, please. Opposed, the same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, next we'll hear from the mayor. If you got anything.
I provided each council member the mayor's report. Sales tax allocation for October 7th, 2025. The sales tax allocation for the month of September of 2025 was $390,253.24. This is a decrease of $84,401, or a negative 17.78% of the September 2024 allocation. For the fiscal year, we have collected $5,100,668.50, a decrease of $355,789, which is a negative 6.52% less than the tax allocation for the year beginning October 1, 2023. There was a mistake on the allocation for September. I provided you the information in regards to that. Health insurance account. The account balance of the health insurance account for the month ending September 2025 is $641,481.22. A request also in that packet. There's a request for a variance by MDCC. I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of it. MDCC recently purchased the Maloof Furniture Building located at 920 Highway 82 West. They're looking to obtain a variance in a C3 district for educational use. Third one is the requested information regarding the car center. Dr. Bush contacted the manager on August 26th. The manager stated she will contact Ms. Stencil. The text thread is attached. That's my report.
Okay. Thank you for that report, Mayor. Moving.
I have one question for the mayor. On this capital insurance balance, that's a surplus in an account there, $600,000.
Yes, sir.
That's going to reserve, correct?
I'm not sure how it is set up, but I will look into it.
Yeah. All right, and concerning the car center, I know we got information on that. We ever did a payment in the car center?
I'm not sure. I haven't been open that process up.
Okay. So she had made a payment on it yet then?
I'm not sure.
President,
Yes.
weren't you going to check into that?
I did. I got the information saying that she was contacting the manager.
No, that's not what we asked for. We knew that it was rented out. It was rented. We wanted to know what you knew. And
I gave you the information that was provided.
well, I know what was provided.
Okay.
But that's not what we asked for. We wanted to know what you knew.
I just told you. I gave you the information that was provided.
Goodness gracious, you got to start with the truth somewhere. But okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, going to our public agenda. First, somebody is Mr. Raynard Randall. Is he here today? Okay. Next on the public agenda is Jackie Brownlow. Is she here today?
She's not present, though, man. She's not here.
Okay. All right. Next, I do see Miss Jean Catton and Miss Angela Curry.
Good afternoon, Mayor Cox and members of the City Council.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Thursday, October 16th is the Augusta Charter White Luncheon. And in the past, the city has been a presenting sponsor. And we're here today to ask you if you would consider doing that again this year. And all the information is on the sheet that we provided.
And I will add, this is one of two of the events that we have in the community each year. One is our gala, which is on campus. The other is this luncheon, which is held here in the city. And we appreciate your previous support. We couldn't do this without your support. This is what we call one of our friend raisers, and a way of extending the university's or the foundation's efforts into the city of Greenwood. And you have always supported us, and we really do appreciate it. Our funds, they are put to good use. We use them to support programs and services offered by the university, offered at the university.
All right. Well, we thank you, and yes, we always support this, and I'm looking forward to supporting it again.
Okay, my question is, are you consider supporting at the same level that you've supported it in the past?
Of course, yes. What we talked about, though, was, and let me ask you how soon you will be needing this. We discussed as a council in our budget hearings of any donation not coming out towards the end of the month or the 1st of November.
President Stevenson, I'm not questioning when. I just need to know if you're going to support it so I can share with you the information that you need.
Yes.
Okay. With the presenting sponsorship, you will have 2 tables of 8.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's it?
And we know we can depend on that payment. We're not,
So
All
it's
right.
not
rushing you
we're
for
not,
a payment.
Hold on. Let me see what Mr. McCoy is going to say.
And Mr. President, to make that clear, President, we did discuss in the budget here now. We got budget now. We're just trying to see how the budget will end for this month now. But we are willing to get $5,000 out, no problem at all. Like Stephen said, the power come after November 1st, we'll have your check in the box. No problem at all. We got you covered.
thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you
we
so
would be
much.
property. I'm all yes, positive. It'd be property. Just what you're asking for as what we call a presenting sponsor.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
y'all very
And
much.
thank y'all. And you say we have 2 tables.
2 tables of 8,
Okay.
which is 16 seats.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got your paper? Huh?
Yeah, we'll get smoke.
Yep. Unless we get back in time. Mr. Powell said we won't be here.
That's why I know.
Yeah.
We'll be in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's at 11 o'clock on that same day, and we leave there at about 10 or 11.
Yep. Exactly.
Back down.
Okay. Okay. I'll let her know. Okay. Next is Mr. Raw on sewer rates. I'm sorry, I didn't want to pronounce your name incorrectly.
Raul Maldonado.
Oh, okay then. Okay. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Good.
What the gentleman is handing out is going to be the order of the agenda that I'm speaking. This is going to be the first topic on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay? This is going to be the second topic on the agenda.
Sir.
Mr. Mayor, how you doing, sir?
All is well.
You look familiar. There's a fifth item on our agenda, but it's not going to be a write-up. It's going to be an explanation on the fifth agenda.
Okay.
Once I get done with you have clarity. Okay, so. Okay, first of all, let me explain who I am. I'm here at the request of the mayor. I work for ISI, Water Company of America. We have a contract with the city to basically audit the billing system. GU's billing system and also billing systems that's outside of GU. Okay, so basically what I'm here is the mayor wanted me to come here to explain my findings of the errors that I found in the system. My contract is a contract, public knowledge. Actually, it was passed by the city council by the former mayor. Let me go to the first topic of discussion is Long Acres. Okay, basically, I found this property to be 41 residential properties. It's on Ridgeline Road. The water provider is East LaFleur Water Sewer District, but the sewer goes to Greenwood City, and they process the sewer. The problem with this particular billing is that they've been billing $100 a month for the last 20 years. Here's the problem with that. According to your ordinances, if you have an outside source of water like East LaFleur or say a well, and you're outside of the city limits, each residential property is supposed to pay a flat rate of $39.05. So basically, as you can see on my write-up, you're underbilling by quite a bit of money. And your ordinance is very clear on this. I believe I wrote it on a piece of paper that I gave you. Okay, if you have an outside water source, but you connect it to Greenwood sewer system, you get a flat rate, which is a published rate as we speak now of $39.05 per month. Per month, right? For residential property. Now, what I like to do, if anybody, as I'm going along, if you got questions, just please write it down. I like to go through everything, and then if you got questions, I'll answer your questions. So the second item that I'm going to talk about is Pillow Academy. I discovered that Pillow Academy was building. Pillow Academy is sort of a unique property because typically, if you have a GU water meter, right, you build sewer through the meter. They're the exceptions. They build water through their water meter, but they build sewer through a sewer meter, a flow meter that goes into a lift station. That lift station documents the consumption of sewer that's going into Greenwood system. The problem with it, with that, is their rate is at $1.71. Now, I tried to find a resolution to speak to that rate. I couldn't find a resolution. City clerk's been helping me. I went to Public Works, looked at the multiple papers. I can't find no resolution speaking to that rate. The only thing that I did find, but I want you guys to see this. I did find a document that was recorded by the previous mayor. Okay. So this document speaks to the rate of $1.71. But even this particular document, if you read the very last paragraph, the mayor is acknowledging that the flow of sewer coming into the city of Greenwood has been has caused financial burden upon the city. If you read that last paragraph, that's it. I'm going to know. They're not sharing. So where the $1.71 comes from, gentlemen and ladies, I do not know. I haven't discovered that document. This is the only documentation that I can find on it. Okay? So basically, Peel Academy is outside of the city limits, right? The proper rate to charge them is $5.82, which is currently passed in 2014 by the city council. So that's, to me, it's basically cut and dry. They were basically being billed the wrong way. Let's go to the next one. The next one is, I believe, is Mid-Valley, right? Mid-Valley State? Okay, we basically got the same situation with Mid-Valley State. Mid-Valley State is a customer that pumps their sewer into Greenwood, approximately about 10 miles to infrastructure that Greenwood maintains. They've been billing $1.71 since, as far as I could research it, 2012. Look at it this way. Since 2015 to 2025, I did some research how much money Greenwood has put into that infrastructure, that 10-mile of infrastructure. And that 5-year period, you have put in $5.5 million in repairs. And those 5 years, Mid-Valley has basically paid about $520,000. So if you take the $520,000 and compare it to your cost of infrastructure, which that's what the sewer rate is supposed to do, is supposed to, take care of your infrastructure and your debt, et cetera, et cetera. So we did have a meeting. I did have a meeting already with the university and the sewer director and the powers that be in the city yesterday. And they are aware of the situation. And what they're gonna do, they're gonna discuss it with their agency and get back with the mayor and sit down to discuss a fair rate going forward. It is the desire of the sewer director that they pay the outside rate. So you got to understand. Think about $1.71 going to 10 miles of sewer. So basically, they're really only paying to transport that sewer. Once it gets to your sewer plant, it's got a process there. In the state of Mississippi, according to the state statute, it costs between $3 and $7 to process sewer once it gets to the plant. So basically, this customer really hasn't been paying for sewer for the last 2012. I mean, as far as
Right.
if you look at it mechanically and logically, you know what I mean? And the money that you guys are putting into your infrastructure, it's just not, 171 is definitely, and once again, I don't know where the $1.71 comes from.
Good question.
No. Okay, the next one is East LaFleur Water and Sewer District. It's basically the same scenario as Mid Valley. The problem as Valley University, the difference is that Valley University pays a base charge. So they get billed $7,665 every month, whether they use 1 gallon of sewer. There's always a base charge. East LaFleur gets billed for 1,000 a gallon. So East LaFleur is averaging 9 million gallons of sewer a month into Greenwood system at $1.71. So once again, you're not covering your costs. Not only are you not covering your costs, but let's take Pillow Academy for it. Let's go back to Pillow Academy. You get Pillow Academy, they're paying $1.71. You take a rock and you throw it to the Pepsi company, they're paying the proper rate because they're outside of the city limits. They're paying the $5.82. Everybody that's outside of the city limits is supposed to be $5.82. So fair and equity billing. That's basically what should happen. East LaFleur pumps into a lift station called Peachtree. The sewer department calls it Peachtree lift station. So there's a sewer flow meter there that they read every month. They take that read and then they bill East LaFleur. Like I said, they're averaging about 9,000 gallons a month. If you can see on your write-up, they're underbilling about $40,000 a month. Wow. That's a lot of money to be losing on your, to put back into infrastructure, because basically a sewer infrastructure, according to the state of Mississippi and even the state that I live in, okay, a sewer department is not supposed to operate below budget. They're supposed to be either operate at cost, or every once in a while you find a utility that operates with a profit. For instance, GU. They operate at a little bit of a profit. Before I get on number 5, does anybody got any questions?
So far.
I guess once you finish, I was going to let you finish, and then we have our questions. That's what you asked for, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you asked for that.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 5 is basically, I find that all the schools within the city limits, keep in mind, or the city outside of the city limits, which is basically controlled by 90% of them, I think, is controlled by East LaFleur. They are billing sewer. Everything inside the city limits that is a city school is not billing sewer. They're literally putting 629,000 gallons per month into your sewer system. That's a monthly cost about $3,321.12 monthly. Annually, you're losing about $40,000 in sewer revenue. According to your ordinances, okay, section 138/6, section A states that all users to the system should pay if they're using the system, unless specified. Specified meaning that somewhere in the city clerk's office or the city workers, there's a written agreement. There is no written agreement. But just to further research it, I did go down to East LaFleur Consolidated School System. I also went down to the county's office and I submitted a FOIA for information concerning any contracts concerning a sewer between the city and the school system. That was submitted July 14th. As this date, I haven't got no response. They also are not billing for solid waste. So basically, solid waste you're losing is all commercial pickup at schools. I did a calculation. You're losing $5,000 a month on solid waste. Annually, that's $60,000. That's not going back into the system in order to maintain it. And that's basically it.
Johnny.
I have a question. That's some good information because we paid, what, $35 million for that place.
Absolutely.
40 million.
Actually, it's 42 million.
42 million, exactly.
42 million.
And my biggest complaint I'm getting from my constituents and others in the city is sewer bill and some of those expenses are more than their utility bill. That's the first time this ever happened. So that's good information. We need to get that corrected and get that revenue coming in because it's just laid on the backs of every citizen in Greenwood, that bill. You know, $10 off of everybody's bill sometimes may make the threshold of paying their bills and stuff. But great information.
Well, one of the unique things that, because I get a download from GU of all the data. And the first thing I noticed about Greenwood, and I've never seen this, I do this all over the country, that the water bill was higher than the sewer bill. I've never seen that. That's the first time I've ever seen that. And that's what really started my investigation. I said, well, this doesn't look right.
One thing I understand, at one time I saw a reading, and this goes to the infrastructure of the water lines in Greenwood. We're actually losing more water into the leaks than we're billing for. Say it's $5 million or whatever it is, we're losing more than that a day through leaks and pipes and into the ground, which is, money. It costs money to pump it up and it costs money to distribute it and cut some of those trims like that and get people's water bills down and get their sewer bills down.
Every utility has a threshold of loss water that they can't account for. And a lot of that is due to leaks. A lot of it is due to, I'll give you an example. I'm not going to mention the facility's name. I found a large casino in Biloxi. And I'm saying, well, this is the largest casino on the strip and they're using less water than everybody else. Okay, I said, something's wrong here. So I got together with the city manager, I got together with the head of the casino, and we agreed to have 4 meters. 4 large 6-inch meters going to. So we decided we're going to shut off all 4 meters at 4 o'clock in the morning. The casino never lost pressure. Why that was? They had a 12-inch fire line unregistered of water going into the system. So you think that added to the loss of water?
Absolutely. Those casinos made money.
Well, that was the person who built the place. That was the infrastructure. But like I said, I'm not going to say the casino's name, but I'm just trying to give you an example of how you can lose water loss. You know what I mean? And that's part of our services to the city. We investigate. We have different devices that we use to measure flow of water, flow of sewer, etc.
Have you got in these lines a total loss of billing? So how much that would be?
A total loss of revenue as far as relating to the rate of 171. I have rough numbers, but they're not exact. But I can get that to you.
Yeah, you could calculate that over what we pay on that sewer plant and get paid for a quick equipment running.
Oh, yes.
We could.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Well,
Mr. McCoy.
Hey, thank you for the good information there. At this point, how do we go back and fix that? I think that's the magic question. How can we pick up some revenue from this day on and not lose the revenue?
Here's the thing. This is your code of ordinances.
Okay.
like I was talking to the mayor and to Mr. Payne. I said, I'm not coming here to look for a vote.
Okay.
You got the laws in place already
Okay.
in order to rectify this.
Okay.
The only thing that I see as a potential thing that the city council might have to address is the university and East Los Florida.
Okay.
Because also in your ordinance it does say between intergovernmental agencies, which university is and East Los Florida is, that they have the right to sit down and negotiate a wholesale price.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't say that you guys are required to sit down with them. As a courtesy to them, you can sit down with them and say, okay, listen, you're using 9 million gallons, we're not going to charge you this much money. Okay? That's in your ordinances.
Okay.
But it's also in your ordinances that if you're an outside customer, you pay $5.82.
Okay.
And here's why I think Mr. Payne is leaning toward the 582. We discussed this. Your customer hasn't been being billed for sewer for years. So I did have this discussion with the university and East Los Florida, and I said, gentlemen, you got to be careful. If the mayor and the city council and Eddie Payne comes to you and say, okay, this is what we agreed on, 582, this is the outside rate, and they protested, what's going to happen, you guys are going to say, okay, let's do a rate study. And I guarantee you, if you do a rate study, you're going to come up higher than 582.
Okay.
Because you haven't had a rate increase since 2014. Now, what I suggested to Mr. Payne was this. Let's bring everything up to par
Okay.
at 582. Let a year go by. Let's see what kind of revenue we collected, right? If that still is not enough revenue, then you guys can address the rate study. But I guarantee you, I talked to other people in the industry, and they was like, what's the rate? 580. They said 582. I'll give you a sentence. Shreveport, Louisiana. You know what the rate is? $19
Wow.
per 1,000 gallons. Yeah. I was saying to myself, I don't know how people can afford to live there.
Is that a commercial rate or?
No, that's a residential rate. So you guys are way below the average for 1,000 gallons. You know, so your rate is not extremely high and it's not extremely low. I've seen it in places lower than you guys, but it was smaller towns than this.
Well, I know when we first looked into this thing, Ronald, we had more question. We were trying to save Valley from having to put in their own treatment plant,
Right.
which would have cost them $15 to $18 million plus the maintenance and equipment, the crew, and everything to do. Tying it into that line when we ran that line over there, and also tying Pepsi in, and some of the Viking facilities out there
Right.
too, which was a godsend to some of them, and maybe attracting an industry
Right.
being able to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we need to.
And you know what? It was an honorable thing to do.
Oh yeah.
There's no question about it. You know. But now you're in a situation where COVID went by. You guys probably got federal money. But now, guess what? Now the federal money is gone. Now you got to collect your revenue in order to maintain your system for real.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad we found it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can remember. What's the former mayor of Hattiesburg name is?
Johnny Price.
Johnny, you right. You work with Johnny Dupree?
Johnny Green, yes.
Yes, I remember when he came to us
Yeah.
and asked us to hire him for y'all to find this.
Right.
Y'all remember when Johnny Dupree came here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And right, I remember when we hired you to find our issues, and seemed like y'all have done a well done job.
Outstanding job.
I'm not done yet.
You're not done yet? Not done yet. Well, I mean, you keep doing what you're doing, and I agree with you, and I agree with Mr. Payne and the mayor. We need some corrective action on this immediately. Immediately. So,
My suggestion to the mayor and to Mr. Payne was to sit down with the entities and say, okay, this is what we're going to charge you. Like I said before, if they protested, and they rightfully could, but I also had a conversation with them, and I said, be careful what you ask for. Because if they do protest it, then we're going to have a rate study, and they're not going to like that. They're not going to like the results of that rate study.
That's true.
So you got sewer basically done for free for the last since 2012. So the free ride is over, basically.
People agree with the paying for.
Yes, sir, Councilman.
And that's the big problem, Everybody that does pay sewer is absorbing the cost of maintaining the system. But that's not fair to all the rest of the
Those
system.
rates were figured to help pay that debt on that thing, to reduce the debt of that facility. And all that was done, methodically in a plan to reduce the debt, make our payment, make our interest payment, and reduce the debt, and eventually get it paid for.
Your debt is still there.
Always there.
Still there.
35 million, but on record it says 35 million, but I did a little further research, and it's really more like 42 million.
Well, I suggest the 582. I agree with you. And after a year goes by, we see where we're standing and see if we need to go up even further. Mr. Payne, you want to stand up and say anything?
He just like over everything. But the real reason I tell him that we had to go here was because we had so many people that from Independence to everybody bill with GU was already paying their rate. And there were people that we were actually billing that wasn't paying their rate. So I don't know how it got. The miscommunication came over the time. But there was, like you said, 20 years of miscommunication. Because you did raise the rates every time y'all voted to raise the rate.
Right.
It is on the outside the rates weren't getting raised.
Well, understandable. I don't think it's fair for us to do anything about the past. The past is the past.
From now on,
right, but I think it needs to be fixed now. As far as going back, trying to charge somebody or nothing, no, I don't think that's fair.
Since the loss we took over the year.
That's a loss we done took. So let's fix that immediately as I see it. And like you said, move on from there and see where we stand. And next year we'll see we have to go up again. And I'm in the point of us just breaking even.
Right.
That's it. Breaking even. We're not trying to make a profit or anything, even though we got a $42 million plant to pay for. I still would like us to break even. That's where I'm at.
That might keep us from having to raise rates. Keep a cap on having to raise
exactly.
Because, like I was saying, you was normal like a rubber incident. You were calculating about $700,000 a year, with just those that we lost on rate stuff.
Yeah, we've lost some money. I can tell you, we've lost a lot of money.
Quite a bit of money.
Yep, and as this council know, when we tried to have our budget hearings, it was hard. Yes, sir. Let Mr. McCoy.
Go ahead, John.
And further that, we really hadn't raised the rates in 2014. We went into 2015 a gallon in 2014. And we thought we were raising the rate too high then.
Right.
It's not high enough, I don't think.
And that rate in 2014, Mr. President, was that done through a rate study?
No,
that wasn't.
Not at all.
We're just in our budget. So
we just tried it. And like I said, and we probably might need one to figure out how we need to break even within a year.
Well, the rate study is important, especially so you can explain.
To the customers,
to your customers, and to your citizens. Okay, this is the science behind it.
Right.
We're not just coming and throwing up feathers in the air. This is the evidence that this is the result of our study, that we hired an outside independent engineering company. I always suggest so nobody from this side of the road or this side of the road. Independent engineering company come in and do a rate study if you need it. I believe that if you guys could I'm looking at some of the money that you guys are going to recover. I believe if you can recover your money and bill people properly, okay, that in a year time, evaluate your situation. I think that if you cover that revenue, you'll cover your costs.
Okay.
Well,
We get it anyway.
Now, Johnny.
you know, it's how long would it take? It would be great to have the figures that they saved to show them if we get into a situation of negotiating that rate. You know, going forward, we're going to charge what we're legally supposed to be charging because they can look at a number and see what they say. It's pretty impressive for them, but not so for us. But how long does it take to notify people legally?
Okay, legally, because the government agency, East Florida, and the university, legally you have to give them a 60-day notice.
60 days.
Now, I want to explain to you something, and the mayor and Eddie was at that meeting, and the recycling director was at that meeting. I talked to these two entities, and I explained to them, like I said before, be careful what you ask for. And at the end of the meeting, not East Florida, but the guy from the university, he came and he whispered, he says, "You did a good job. You know, and I know the things that you explained is bad." So basically what they said, we're going to go back and talk to our people. East Florida is going to go back and talk to their people, and then they're going to get back with the mayor and the sewer director.
Sounds good.
But I literally believe in the near future we do need a rate set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell.
Time will tell. Like I said, the typical rate in the state of Mississippi is between $3 and $7. Okay, so you basically, you know, I think you're in a good position. A 582
Okay.
and 582 outside, 528 inside.
Okay. Okay.
Well, President, I agree with you, President. We might need one in the future, though. Right now, we need to see what we're going to come out with.
Well, right now we need to go with that 582 and don't start that 60-day notice
That
immediately.
ain't good immediately.
Yeah, that's what I think we need to do.
Thanks, so, President.
All right, sir.
Thank you again.
Thank you now again. We appreciate that. Some good information.
So what's the process? Do we need an ordinance to issue a notice to them, or do we contact? What do we do? I know we need to, but what's the step?
Can I answer that?
Yes, please.
Because I studied your ordinances, and I studied the only document that I see that I found in Public Works that states that you have to give them 60-day notice of an increase.
Okay.
You don't have to change any ordinance because your rules of engagement are already in play. You already passed it.
So we come from the mayor's office and the city council and notice that we're implementing the $5 and change.
Yes. I really feel you're not going to get no pushback.
Yeah.
At least from the university. East Florida, I'm not so sure.
Well, we deal with that issue when we get to it. Yeah, we need to move forward.
If we get to that,
Yeah, we need to move forward.
If they object to it and we need to do a rate study, I have talked to the head of my company. We even talked about we'll pay for the rate study.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Can't beat that.
Mr. President, we just need to have an ordinance to issue that? Or
Now he just said we have the ordinance.
I realize it's a letter to present.
Oh,
Go ahead and start the 60 days.
a resolution probably.
Don't wait 45 days.
We might need a resolution, not an ordinance. The ordinance is in place.
I'd like to put it in the mail tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes, sir, Ms. Palmer.
So if you present that rate to them, and like I said, they might protest it. Then you do a rate study. What happens is they protest the rate study.
Well, they can protest the rate study, but the rate study is the rate study.
Right.
And I wonder
What would be our action in that situation?
your action is you have to pass a resolution. You know, even if you have to go back to your ordinances and change your ordinances. Maybe you have to re-examine your ordinances and how it's worded, because you have to read the ordinance carefully because, they're basically written by lawyers.
Go back 11 years and we'll adjust it.
Now, first thing first is to pass a resolution at our next meeting.
Yeah, let's do that first, bro.
That's first thing first, I would think.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir, please.
Mr. Mayor, you might want to speak on this too, because we did make the statement yesterday at the meeting, and I want to be fair to the entities that are involved. We did say that they was going to go back to their people, and then their people going to come back and set up a meeting with the mayor. I don't know, should that happen first before we move forward? It's totally up to you, Mr. Mayor and the City Council. We did mention that at the meeting.
They were inclined to have a conversation. We don't want to jump and say, we don't want to think for them. We don't want to say they're thinking no. We don't want to say they're thinking yes. We want to make sure that we had a conversation to identify what direction they want to go with. And then our powers are sit to the table and we'll identify what's the best option. If our ordinance say 582, I think that's where we should go. And we'll go from there.
But it's important to start the process.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they should have. I would think between now and 2 weeks from today, hopefully they be got with you by then. If they had not in the next 2 weeks, when we have another meeting, we probably need to move forward. But if they be gotten with you in 2 weeks, you just probably get with the attorney or something and say this is what we might need to hold off on it. Or something.
May have to. Next week we'll be in.
Right,
time.
we'll be out here.
If I have to adjust my schedule to have that meeting, so be it.
Okay.
Good.
Well, I would leave it to the mayor and the attorney to get together between now and our next 2 weeks meeting to see if it's necessary to have that as a resolution.
Okay. Just notify me if you need me to be there.
Yeah.
Because I will be leaving next Thursday, but I can come back very quickly.
Okay.
Just give me a couple of days.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate
All right.
it.
Thank you, sir. All right. We appreciate you.
Very helpful to us, man.
It's just like Santa Claus comes to town. That's good news. Bad news for you. That's good news,
Okay. All right, folks, moving on. Number 4, nothing on the policy issue agenda. Number 5, our routine items agenda. 8, we have the consent agenda. We have approval of the minutes and the docket of claims.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I have one question on the docket claim, your President. 3360 Frank Border, 607 Charlton Charlie Cooley, $12,575. I'm trying to see what was that done. That's in. I can get clearance on that today.
Anybody familiar with that? You not familiar with that, are you, Vicky?
I'm not.
I was curious what that total price.
Is that something that's been done through that home grant thing?
I don't know.
What number is that?
3360. I called it a pain about it. I thought it was a sewage problem we fixed over in that area over in the water. That's showing 607 Sergeant Charlie Cooley. $12,000 is quite a bit of money. I was trying to see
On Sergeant Charlie Cooley?
Yeah, 600 block.
In the pain, that wasn't no sewage.
What it was?
Something we paid to Frank Borders.
Frank Border.
Nah.
I asked about it.
Are you familiar with your dollar?
That's what I ain't even familiar with.
Yeah, I called him earlier next about it. He can give me clearance on it.
And go to work.
Yeah, that was for it to work. We paying that bill, $12,575. I was trying to see what we get over there.
Because I get there tonight. And we supposed to say the Greenwood before Greenwood Utility, and they send them bills in, and the people ain't paying attention. They just turn it in.
Well, we got
Was
a
it
bill
a
on
bill
here.
for that?
Sir?
Was it a purchase order made out for that?
No, it's a bill that we paying for the work been done.
Never heard it.
You know, I called you this morning actually. I was lost on
What?
I looked at it.
I didn't get that, so I don't get to it.
Oh, okay. What was that number?
3360 is the number. And it's going to be a Frank Border. And the total, if it's 607 Sergeant Charlie Cooley, $12,575. The mayor can check on it in the morning, find out what's going on with that.
Yeah. It wasn't, they were getting that road done, was it?
I don't know. I don't know.
We did get one block of Sergeant Charlie Cooley paved.
I remember they got that done.
Yeah, we got one block.
I'm not for sure. Dr. Claim don't spell out what we did over there.
Okay.
You just got just one address over there. There'll be more than one address if it was a road done. They would have something saying the road or something by it. It don't have the vice president.
Did no explanation.
None at all. It just got 607 Sergeant Charlie Cooley, $12,575. I'm just curious on the total amount that we.
What? Okay.
And what?
What's your suggestion? Have the mayor, Ms. Williams is here, and Vicky check into that?
Yes, sir. But now my question, President, I hate to pay that bill, President, when we pay that. Now we can pull that out if we got questions about that bill.
Okay.
Come back and put it on next our claim, so we're not familiar with what we're paying.
Okay.
President.
See, how you got that block that was paid. 7600 block is the block that was paid.
That is a block that was paid.
But it's showing one address, showing 607 Sergeant Charlie Cooley. Will it specify one address, or will it say 600 block?
I'm not sure because I ain't made the rest up.
Okay.
The requisition. If I did the requisition, I probably would have had 600 block. But all we do.
Is that the willingness of the council to pull that one out? Do we get some understanding and pay it at our next meeting?
Well, we vote on it, President. I mean, we vote to pay it. We don't pull it out.
Okay. Well, I leave it to you to make that motion.
I make that motion, President. We pull out 3360 Frank Border, 607 Sergeant Cooley.
And make sure it's in the minutes, Vicky.
Until we have proper information on that. And the total dollar amount was $12,575.
I second that motion.
Mm-hmm. Any further? And that's going to be a separate motion, or now that's included with the consent agenda?
Well, I should do a second motion by pulling that out.
Okay. So that's a motion by itself?
A motion by itself.
All right.
Pulling it out.
Okay.
Now I vote into for the consent vote on Dr. Claim.
Okay.
Total amount left in there.
Okay.
Excluding that to $12,575 program.
That motion has been made and been seconded. Any further? All in favor, right hand, please. Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. Now the chair will make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I so move, President.
Second.
The motion been made and been seconded. All in favor, right hand, please. Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. Routine items agenda. Number 1, a resolution appointing Elizabeth Liddell as Chief Administrative Officer for the city of Greenwood, Mississippi. Chair, entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made and been seconded. Any further? All in favor, right hand, please. Opposed, the same side. Motion carried. Ms. Liddell is here. As you know, she's the former Main Street Director. Ms. Liddell, come to the podium and speak to us, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. I appreciate the opportunity and the vote of confidence. I love Greenwood, and I'll do anything that I can to serve in any capacity that I can. I'll send you a picture, Ted. I'll serve in any capacity that I can. So I look forward to working with all of you, and I appreciate your confidence in me.
Okay. And I'd like her father to stand up and be recognized. Mr. Liddell. Thank you, Mr. Liddell, and congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number 2, a resolution of the City Council of Greenwood, Mississippi, appointing Dr. Margie Pulley to the Greenwood LaFleur Hospital Board of Commissioners. Mr. McCoy wanted to address that, and I think Attorney.
Well, Attorney called me about it earlier today. He wasn't aware of it, though. And I was thinking of our ordinance, though, the Robert Rule Order. In the case of a tie, though, it means that the vote died. And I was curious when we bring back and vote on it again. So I'm having no problem in voting on it again. I just want to get it clear, though. Can we vote on it again, though?
Right.
And, it's not clear.
I'd like to research this issue a little bit more just to make sure that what we do is legitimate. And we've talked about this statute before that under 21-1541, if an appointment is rejected or otherwise failed to confirm, whether that name can come back up again. it doesn't discuss a tie vote, and so I'd like to get some clarity from the Attorney General's office before. I mean, it would be my recommendation for us to get some clarity before we move forward. I just don't know the answer to it. Now, under parliamentary procedure, Robert's Rule of Order, a tie vote means the motion failed. Oftentimes there's a motion for reconsideration, which would be it back on the agenda. But read with that statute, I'm unsure. I don't know. I'd like to find out.
But wasn't it stated that could be brought up?
I did mention that. I said that. And that was me not knowing the law. No, I did say that.
Let me ask you a question. Is it anybody here as a lawyer can answer that question for you?
Well, if anybody's here from the Attorney General's office, because
not per se from the Attorney General's office, I think a lawyer could answer that question as well about that.
Well, with the statute, number one, you start at 21.823 that says any appointment for a member of any board, the mayor has the power to nominate that person, and then confirmation has to be by an affirmative vote of the city council, president voting. And if you read that statute with 21.1541, which states if a council rejects or otherwise fails to confirm an individual submitted by the mayor for appointment, the mayor may not resubmit for appointment the same individual for that position. Now, is a tie vote, which is a failure of the motion, does that fall into the language in the statute or otherwise fails to confirm? I'd like some guidance from the Attorney General's office, because if they say that Dr. Pulley can be resubmitted, then we're clear. And I'm worried about action of the hospital board being questioned down the road if it was not done legally. And I'm talking about the next meeting. I should have an answer. Okay. And if you're given official guidance from the Attorney General's office, you're immune from any liability or it coming back at you. If you fail to get that and that guidance from the Attorney General's office, you can be found liable. And in fact, you don't get that protection if you just rely on previous AG opinions to other cities, although we often do. And so I'd like to expedite it and get an answer as fast as possible, and I assume by the next meeting.
Let me ask you another question, okay? So when you looked at you did have an agenda.
Things have been crazy, and I didn't see it I didn't open my computer until about 2 hours ago.
So that means you don't open your computer early to see what's on it?
No, I had not looked at the agenda before today.
But isn't that a requirement, since you sit in that seat, to look at this agenda?
Well,
give them some answer when you're here?
And I did, and like I told you, these statutes, and I did research it hurriedly, and it gave me pause.
Well, let me say this.
Nothing against Dr.
Right. Let me say this, and we'll move on. We act on the advice of our attorney. So we either now can make two decisions, the board. We can vote to table it or vote on it. It's up to us. The attorney just gives us advice.
Oh, yeah. I understand.
Advice. So we still, as a board, can make a decision. So it's up to the board right now if they want to vote on this or vote to table it. It's just that simple.
Well, President, Attorney, when you research that, we can get it back on the next agenda, on the next meeting in 2 weeks, Attorney, when you find out, Attorney? When you find out the Attorney?
Right. If the answer is
you find
it can be,
so
an individual can be resubmitted.
Tomorrow and Attorney check.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I move to table, President. We usually go by the legal piece of our attorney anyway. It's advice. And we can bring it back up in 2 weeks once the attorney find out. It's not to give Ms. Boyles, we'd love to make a vote on today. Let's just bring it back, get ourselves clear on it before we vote on something. We got to go back and undo.
We got a motion on the floor.
We can table it.
That's your motion?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, I made the motion. She seconded.
She seconded, right. She seconded, all right. Motion been made and seconded to table this. Any further? All in favor? Opposes? Motion passed.
Did you oppose, President?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay. No
Yeah, yeah. Okay, the mayor had given us this change in state agenda on the ordinance of the animal control, chapter 6. I'm sure this probably needs to be on the agenda as a.
Is there one other resolution?
No. Oh, okay then. Yeah, there's another resolution.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Resolution authorizing the city clerk, Ms. Carla Williams, to be added as an authorized signer on all city bank accounts.
I so move, President.
Okay. Motion made and second. All in favor, right hand. Opposed, the same side. Motion carried. All right. Now next to the state agenda. I think we've all had a chance to study this and it's been brought to us. It needs to be put in an ordinance at our next meeting. Is that okay with everybody?
No problem, sir.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right, you, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Anything else come before the council?
Hey, but President.
Yes, sir.
One question for the mayor. Mayor, could you give us an update on our youth center? How did it come along with youth center?
I think they just started or finished up the roofing by Dixie Roofing. The next couple of weeks, they should be starting renovation. I will touch bases to get a timeline from Delta Design.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Getting things done. Yeah, I think it's gonna be real nice once they finish. Yes. I'm sorry if you're not on the agenda, you can't speak. I'm sorry.
I'm on the agenda.
Oh, you are on the agenda? What's your name?
Jackie Brownlow.
Okay.
She was late getting here.
Yeah, she was late getting here.
I had a 2-hour drive, guys.
Well,
I apologize, man.
yes. If the consent of the council simply passed it.
I so approve, President.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Thank you guys for doing that. I do apologize for being late. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jackie Brownlow. I am from Greenwood, Mississippi, currently living in Olive Branch, Mississippi. I do have a nonprofit, and we distribute coats to kids.
I remember you before, right?
Yes, I stood before you guys last year. Here I am again.
Okay.
In need for the same thing. I am requesting that you guys assist me in providing coats to the children. I sent emails last year of pictures from that event that we had last year. And when I tell you, there were so many kids to show up that I just didn't have enough to help them all. Mm-hmm. But we helped a good amount. I think it was like 200 kids. I don't know where they're from, but the need is great in Greenwood, Mississippi. And I want to help. And I need your
How much did we donate last year?
$500.
$500. Okay.
So it was 500, President.
Huh?
It was 500.
500. Okay.
Yes, $500.
All righty.
I'm hoping to get a little bit more this year.
Ms. Brownlow, let me be honest as I can. Everybody wants more, and it is just not there. I'm sorry, it's just not there.
I understand.
We've been in budget hearings for months.
I get it. I just have to ask.
And it's just not there. What we would do, we would consider your request. We basically have finalized our budget. We have contingency fund money that we put in the mayor's account. And so I'm going to leave that to the mayor. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. How much is each coat?
I try to find them between 20. I try to get them as cheap as I can, anywhere between $20 to $50. But I try to rely on the lower end of that. Yes, because I have to buy a lot.
And believe me, we want to help. We're going to do our best. I mean, I think your project is wonderful. Yeah. And if we could do more, I promise you, we want to do more. And if the mayor say so, we might do more.
I give you $100, I'll buy 5.
That's perfect.
You just call me at 662-299-3400. I'll write you a check. Who don't make that?
I won't remember that. Can I?
3400 you can remember. 299-3400.
299-3400.
Call me about
His number product.
a lot of people in town give a lot of money to kids like that.
Yeah.
One thing's not for me, but the last few years I've been blessed.
Thank you.
Do a little better in life, and anything you take when you die is what you give away.
That's it. And the organization is a 501c3 organization, so we can give you a receipt for your.
I may be able to give more than that.
Thank you. 299-3400.
Put it on that agenda right there. There's a pen.
I got you right here.
Okay.
I got you right here, Ms. Brown.
I'm at 207 Riverside Drive.
You got to be down for you, Mayor.
And what's the address again?
207 Riverside Drive.
Okay. I appreciate it,
You had to drive in from Molly Branch, Ms. Brownlow. Well, you are excused for your tardiness there, but you had to drive so far.
You said you lived in OB.
I do.
A lot of people don't know what OB is. That's all
That's all it's for. So, would I know anything?
Honestly, you won't probably. When is your giveaway?
November 22nd. It was on the letter that I submitted October the 11th, but I have a funeral to go to, so I changed that to November.
And you would know something by our first meeting in November.
Okay.
By our first meeting in November.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All righty, which is November 4th. Okay.
That's election day, President.
Oh, well, we might as well get that straight now.
You let them move that, President.
Yeah, we got to move that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Marvin, why you ain't saying nothing? If you're going to send out notices,
Sir.
if you're going to send out notices for November the 4th, it's election day. You should have brought that up to us.
President, let's move to the 5th, President.
Is that good with everybody? November 4th election. I mean, we can meet now. Nobody working the vote.
We always deserve election day, bro.
I just observed election day.
Yeah, let's get ready for
Well, let's do it again. November.
Special election, though. Let's do election day.
Okay. Is that the consent of the majority of the council to move the November 4th meeting to November 5th?
Make that motion.
Okay. Motion been made and been second. Any further? All in favor, right hand. Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Microphones and speakers for people to hear. We've had one of my church members said they would be glad to buy some of the microphones. We need to get somebody in here that I can work with them to find out what we need so we can have a mic at the podium and a mic at each one of our stands. It can be done fairly easy with a speaker midway so we can all hear, but been a lot of complaints about not being able to hear.
Okay.
And I noticed that, some of the other cities got them. We surely can afford it.
And President, we discussed that several years ago. It's not around putting the mics in. We discussed that.
Okay.
I put the mics in.
Let me say this to the mayor and maybe his new give her first job, his new chief administrator. We normally have Walgreens come here and give all employees flu shots. And that's something I think you need to check on. They used to come and give it right there in the conference room. And it's so easy for everybody to come get their flu shot. And they used to do it sometime in October. So can you get with Walgreens and send out an email or a notice to all employees when it would be? Yeah.
I can check it too.
Okay. We always thought, flu shot saved from sick leave and all that, so it's beneficial to whoever wanted. It's voluntary and our insurance covered. It's voluntary and insurance covered. Okay. All right. Anything else coming to the council?